What's going on, guys? JPB Duel here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday, and I would like to quickly apologize for not being able to stream yesterday. My puppy got sick, so I had to rush him to the vet in an emergency. He's all well now, so thank you guys for asking all that. And not being able to upload two prankkids videos yesterday. I did upload two yesterday, but somehow something got bugged in YouTube, and YouTube only published one instead of the other. So I hope you guys understand. With that being said, let's get on with the gameplay for today. For today's game, I'm bringing you prankkids versus swordsoul matchup, with me going first. Now, my hand is a pretty good starting hand. When I say pretty good, I have negations towards Maxi and Ash Blossom. But if my opponent had Ash Blossom, Maxi, and Nib, my turn would have died out because crossout is a once per turn. So if he Ash Blossom me, I would have had to use crossout to negate the Ash Blossom, and then he would be free to nib me. Thankfully, my opponent did not have anything. He could not interrupt my combo whatsoever. Now, when I'm playing this game, I had no idea I was playing against swordsoul, because my opponent did not show me any cards that indicates that he is playing swordsoul. So I just assume the worst and think that he has hand traps, and I play. But I think, what can I do to counter those hand traps? Now, you guys know why I go through two little juice. In this specific scenario, I had two crossouts, so I was gonna banish one crossout anyways to hopefully draw into some other card that would help me play my turn. I drew into Thunder Dragon Fusion. Pretty nice card. I could have used Thunder Dragon Fusion to go into my Butler right now before I ended my turn, but I chose not to do so because, again, I did not know what my opponent was playing. He could be playing Eldritch, he could be playing a deck with Kaijus. I don't want my Butler getting insta-kaiju as soon as my opponent's turn starts, so I did not go into Thunder Dragon Fusion immediately. I end my turn with setting cross out, activating Pranks, setting down Panda, activate Pranks, recycle 3, hopefully draw into a Maxi. No, Fusion Destiny, one draw too late, I would say, because if I drew Fusion Destiny instead of Thunder Dragon Fusion, I would have been able to go into DPE. I would have had DPE plus Butler on the field. So right here, on my opponent's draw phase, I activate Bow Wow Bark. My opponent called by the Gravesite. I use my crossout, hoping my opponent to not have a crossout of his own in his hand. And surprise, surprise. Surprise reveal, he had a crossout in his hand. So my crossout got crossed out by him banishing a crossout. Called by the Grave goes through because my crossout got negated. Bow Wow Bark gets called by, so no Bow Wow Bark activation, no Butler combo. Now I kinda, at this point, since I know my opponent's playing swordsoul, I kinda regretted not using Thunder Dragon Fusion to instantly go into Butler on my turn. But it is what it is. You try to play it safe as much as you can. Don't play greedy. Sometimes the greedy plays do reward you, but not always. So he activates Vessel. He goes into the Astronaut, into Monk of 10. He activates Vessel. I Ash Blossom the Vessel. He normals out Moye. Shows me he has a worm in his hand, goes into Grandmaster. Grandmaster will search him for Longyan. Moye draws him a card. Standard swordsoul combo so far. No deviations whatsoever. So he already had Longyan, so he drew into a Taie. Activates Longyan, discards the Taie, and now my Nib's active. I know my opponent pushed past 5 specials, but I was waiting for him to actually... I believe I showed my opponent that I had Nib. On his 5th special, my side of the field was highlighted because I had my activation, the activation card activation on. So I showed him I had Nib, but my opponent still chose to go into his combo. Again, this could be used as a psych out tactic. Say you have like Ash or Ash or Effect Veiler in your hand, and on your 5th special, you could put the activation on to psych your opponent out, making them think that you have Nib, so maybe they will discontinue their play. My opponent said, you have no Nib, I'm going to continue with my play. So once I saw the Baron on the field, I instantly nibbed my opponent. I don't want him going into... once I saw Longyan on the field, I instantly nibbed him. I don't want him going into Baron de Fleur, which will negate my nib. So I nib him, and this guy, how lucky is he? This card is the card I believe he drew off of the Moye's draw. He drew into Protos off of Moye. Now watch how this guy plays. He made a big misplay. He's gonna banish Ashuna, get Vishuna on the field. He's gonna activate Protoss and light lock me. Like, bro, no. He just light locked me. He could not kill me this turn. The only reason he light locked me is to get rid of the nib on the field that I currently had. He got rid of my nib and got rid of the token, which was at 5300 by the way, mind you. He got rid of the token as well. I have no idea why he played the way he did. If he knows he's playing against prankkids, he should have locked me out of wind monsters, not light monsters. But again, maybe he could be thinking that I probably would have been able to end him next turn. That's why he wanted to get rid of all the threats on the field. That's why he did the light lock over wind lock, which is, keep in mind, if you're playing Protoss, if you're against prankkids players, wind lock them. Their Doodle-Doo and their Butler are wind monsters. They cannot be summoned because you wind lock them. Anyway, so if you guys notice my hand, I have a starter card being the Roxy's. I have my Thunder Dragon Fusion, which gives me access to Butler, and I have my Fusion Destiny, which gives me access to my DPE. Now, the reason why I did not go into DPE is because I know for a fact that I could kill my opponent this turn. Why? Because it's gonna be an easy nightmare bounce Protoss, go into battle phase. I would leave him with nothing on the field. So you guys see right here, there's gonna be an access code play as well. I searched for my prankkids plays. Now I could have just used pranks, discarded prankkids plays to get a token, but I chose to activate prankkids plays, search for a card, and then discard the card I searched for. I even gave my opponent a kaiju just to BM him. So I activate my pranks, get a token, go into Nightmare. I have no cards in my hand to activate Nightmare, so can't bounce anything. Go into access code, and my opponent scoops. Pretty straightforward, simple game where my opponent sort of misplayed with the Protoss lock. I mean, again, he probably was worried about threats on the field, but that's his mindset. I can't do anything about it. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of the game, guys. If you guys do like this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing to my channel. If you are interested in the live version of all this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule is going to be in the video description itself. With that being said, this is JPBduel signing off for today. See you guys in the next video. Peace!